Hello Ven, I hope you are doing well. Here's a quick guide on how to complete the Vesper's host dungeon. Timestamps are in the description below. Firstly, go to Spider within the last city to pick up a dungeon quest. He can be located on the left side from where you spawned in. From there, go to Europa and launch the dungeon. Once in, you will find yourself in the opening of the dungeon. Run along the right side walkways to get to the first room where you'll be introduced to two dungeon mechanics, the scanner and operator buffs. Two people pick up one each, which are dropped by the vandal enemies that spawn on the left side. The scanner is yellow and is used to find the correct panels. You will need to stand next to the panels located around the rooms and use your radar to see if the panel on the radar turns from yellow to white or if it disappears. If it disappears, it is incorrect, but if it turns white, then it needs to be activated. It takes a second or two for the panels to change. The operator, which is the red buff, then needs to shoot it. Each buff has a minute timer at the top of your screen, and if it runs out, you will die. So make sure to deposit the buffs when you are low on time. Then pick them back up and finish shooting the correct panels. Once the 4 panels out of a total 6 panels in the room are correctly activated, bank the buffs and proceed further into the dungeon. Follow this route to get to the first encounter. For the first encounter, the objective is to deposit 3 bombs into the end part of the room. Begin the encounter in the middle of the room and jump out of the way to not get squashed by the brick. Then kill the brick and the ads until the scanner buff spawns in the middle. Make sure to kill the ad carrying the scanner buff when it hits the floor, otherwise the ship might carry the buff away if it dies near the top. Take the scanner and as a group travel into one of the 3 side rooms. The side rooms are marked by 3 symbols: brain, which is top left, lungs, which is the bottom left, and heart, which is the right side. When the side rooms have glowing red lights above them, then it means they are open. Choose any of the side rooms and make your way through, killing all the enemies on the way to the very end of a room. If you don't kill everyone, the end room will remain closed. Each side room is different, so we tend to start with the top left because it has the most gaps and feels the longest. Every side room will have 2 invisible mini boss snipers on the way through the room and in the end room and on the way back, making it a total of 6. However, they aren't too difficult to kill. The parasite grenade launcher makes quick work of them and is able to one-shot them after you charge it with around 3 to 4 kills. Once in the end room, kill the ads and the snipers. For the top left room, the operator buff will spawn behind you, so keep an eye out for it. Same as before, the scanner locates the correct panels and the operator shoots them. Every room will have 6 panels and 4 have to be shot correctly, otherwise you will die. It doesn't matter what order they are in. For the top left room, we label them as sidewalk 1, 2, and 3, whilst the left is simply labeled left 1, 2, and 3. There will be a lot of enemies, so one person ad clears, one person gets the operator buff, and the other scans. When 4 correct panels are shot, a bomb will appear. The 2 people bank their buffs into the deposit areas by the front door, whilst the ad clear person picks up the bomb, and then together you head back to the first room. Along the way, there'll be more ads, including 2 more invisible snipers. So the other 2 who do not have a bomb will ad clear. Just be careful because the bomb has a radiation timer, and when it hits 10 it will kill you. So you have 2 options. Swap the bomb amongst your teammates or drop it, then wait for your radiation timer to drop and then pick the bomb back up. The bomb has a 1-minute decay timer, so you can drop it multiple times. Just be careful it doesn't roll off the map. Once you get back to the main room, the bomb areas will have a shield around it, so you cannot deposit it until you kill the brick in the middle of the room. It is worth saving your supers or heavy for it to quickly kill it. After banking the first bomb, choose the next room to go into. We chose the lungs on the left. Again, there will be more ads and more invisible snipers. For this room, since you banked the buffs, you don't have to reacquire them from the ads. You can pick them up from the deposit areas. You will have 1 buff deposit area on the right and another inside the room, which will be guarded by 2 invisible snipers. For this room, we label the panels from 1 to 6, going clockwise. So the first panel in front of the door is 1. Then going left, it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the back wall. Again, shoot 4 panels, bank the 2 buffs whilst the third person picks up the bomb. Again, head back to the main room, killing the invisible snipers and the stasis shanks, and then kill the brick in the middle to bank the second bomb. For the third room, which is on the right, you won't have any gaps. Both of the buffs will be in the deposit areas on either side of the door inside the room. For this room, the panels are scattered around, so the top left panel was number 1, then the walls had 2 and 3. The pillars in the middle had 4 and 5, with number 6 being in the front right corner of the room. You will need to do all 3 rooms, and it doesn't matter which order you do them in. If any buffs are lost because you died and didn't bank in time, you will have to reacquire from a new Vandal ad. After collecting the third bomb, the final brig will be a large boss brig. Take your time clearing it out, and remember you can drop the bomb in a corner for a max of 1 minute. You can also refresh the timer back to 1 minute if you have a teammate take the bomb off you and then they drop it. Once done, the chest will spawn in the middle. Now follow this path to get to the next encounter. For the second encounter, it will be a 2-parter. Firstly, you need to deposit 5 bombs into 5 deposits that are numbered 1 to 5. And yes, you will need to do them in the correct order, and again, you will have a radiation timer at the top of your screen. The boss will be trying to follow you around, attempting to kill you. Unfortunately, it is immune, so you just have to ignore it. It has a variety of attacks, such as a special one called Integration. This attack is a void beam that will latch onto you and kill you once the timer is up. It works exactly like a Seraph Tower, so just break line of sight and carry on. It can also drop mini bombs on the floor that explode, which you can shoot or destroy or avoid. A third attack is a suck attack when you get too close. Within the encounter, you will gain a new buff on the left side called Power Reserves. You use these Power Reserves to open doors within the encounter. Opening a door costs 1 Power Reserve, and closing a door refunds that 1 Power Reserve back to you. This means you need to go through the encounter, opening the doors into various rooms and then closing it behind you. You can get more Power Reserves by taking them from the blue shielded doors that you can leave open. So begin by traveling left and killing the ads and opening any blue doors that you see. Somewhere amongst these rooms will be a captain that you need to kill, which will drop a bomb. For us, we had to travel all the way through the left side where a war priest spawns in. Yours might sometimes teleport closer and can even appear in the opening room by accident. Once you have the bomb, travel back to the opening room where you first saw the boss. You can take the tunnel through the blue doors that you open to collect the Power Reserves. If you face the top, you will see the first room, and inside will be the number 1 deposit area. After banking there, a captain should spawn nearby, so kill it and pick up the next bomb, and then travel back the way you came towards the second room. Remember to close any doors behind you so you have plenty of Power Reserves to use. Once you bank the second bomb, again a captain will spawn in, so kill it to pick up the third nuke and head towards where the war priest was. The third bomb is at the beginning of a long corridor. Now you need to be careful in this area because you will be directly exposed to the boss. After banking the third bomb, the door next to you will open. Inside will be more ads and another captain. Just pick up the bomb and head through the door, following the corridor until you reach another blue door. On the other side will be another door for you to open, and inside will be deposit number 4. Kill the captain again, pick up the 5th bomb and head through the next door. Outside, to the left will be the next room to run into. Once inside, go through the doors at the top of the stairs to your right. It will be a double door, and you may need to stand out of the way for your teammates to open the door so they don't accidentally take the bomb off you. Once through, you will need to run left into the room with the boss, then run past it to get to the far side door where you can bank the bomb. Remember to keep an eye on the radiation timer at the top of your screen. Either drop it and wait or have a teammate collect it off you. Once the 5th nuke is banked, the door to the left will open up. Quickly run through and drop down into the hole on the left side. If you wait too long, the boss will appear and will try to suck you as you run past. Once you are in the hole, just follow the tunnel all the way into the next part of a second encounter. Now you will be killing the servitor boss. Within the room are various panels that look like this, and they are all numbered. I will explain what you do with those later on. To begin with, you will be in a room filled with ads. The safest locations are on the far left and right sides by the stairs. If you stand in the middle, the boss will see you and will bombard you. Among the ads will be an operator buff, so kill it, pick it up and bank it in the deposit area right behind you. Next, continue killing all the ads, especially the invisible marauders, which will spawn in a machine priest. You need to kill it, which will cause you to be teleported into a room with the servitor boss. Within the room, you will be swarmed by shanks and exploding shanks. I like to save my prismatic for this occasion to help clear them all out quickly whilst using the walls around me for cover against the boss. The boss will have the same 3 attacks, a bomb attack and the previous integration attacks to just break line of sight when this happens, as well as the suck when you get too close. Eventually an ad with a blue suppressor buff will appear. Wait till it leaves the boss's side, then kill it and pick it up. Then use your grenade button and this will spawn a blue person on the ground. You can then shoot the person to detonate it, causing damage to the boss. If you face the boss, on the left side is a wall that you can sit behind to detonate the suppressor buff and then kill the person without the boss seeing you. The detonation needs to be close to the boss, and if done successfully, a message will appear on the left side called Raynix loses strength in Unity. This is when the boss will break down into smaller servitors. You need to head for the exit behind the servitors to get back to the main room, but as you are passing them, look at all the servitors. All of them will be named with numbers. 2 of the servitors will be glowing a little bit more than the rest. You need to memorize these 2 numbers. If you want, write them down in case you forget them. There is an exit on the left that you can use where, using the angles of a floor, you can block the servitor's attacks and see which ones are glowing. Once through this grey shielded door, your suppressor buff will automatically be taken off you. Whilst up here, you can actually safely snipe the ads below you without taking too much damage. You can even sit in the corners of a doorway to write down the numbers you saw so you do not forget. When you are ready, jump back in the main room where it is rinse and repeat. Kill the ads, kill the machine priest. You'll get teleported into the other room. Kill the shanks, pick up a suppressor buff, detonate near the boss using your grenade button, kill the blue person, run for the exit, and look for the next 2 numbers on the glowing servitors. You will now have 4 numbers in total. In the main room, one person picks up the operator buff and shoots the 4 numbers on the wall that correspond to the ones you found on the servitors. After shooting the 4 panels, dunk the buff. The boss will appear along with an additional shank. You need to get the suppressor buff again, detonate it near the boss, shoot the blue person, and then the mini servitors will appear again. Now it is DPS time. The best weapons to use are area of effect weapons, such as grenade launchers. However, Wardcliff Coil does really great damage here. In terms of damage supers, Warlock Nova with Star Eaters is great, as well as Hunter Gathering Storm with Star Eater scales. Meanwhile, Stasis Behemoth Titan with Synthoceps does the most damage. Once damage phase is over, it is rinse and repeat. Once you get near the end of the boss's health bar, the damage phase will remain indefinitely. At this point, the servitors will remain and will have very little health, so you just kill every single one of them to complete the encounter. After completing this, you will need to run to the 3rd encounter, so follow this path to get to it. This is the 3rd and final encounter. Once in this room, make your way to the elevator to your right, which will drop you down to the rally flag. When you are ready, walk forward and the boss will spawn in at the back. Ignore it for now and try to avoid its attacks. Begin by killing the ads until one of them spawns with a blue suppressor. Once you pick it up, at the same time run around looking for the boss's radioactive clones on the field. They will have a dome around them. Get close, use your grenade button to detonate and spawn a blue person, then shoot the blue person to destroy the shield once they are close enough to it. This will remove the radiation field and you will be able to kill the puppeteers. Whilst the puppeteers are alive and close to you, you will gain stacks of radiation which will kill you when it hits 10. So have the suppressor person run around, dropping blue people on the puppeteers and then detonate them as quickly as you can. If you want, you can group the puppeteers up and disrupt them with one detonation, which can make it easier since the suppressor has a cooldown on how often you can spawn the blue people. Once you kill a total of 4, you can bank the suppressor buff since no more will spawn in. Whilst this is happening, the other 2 people will acquire the scanner and operator buffs. Just like before, the scanner will go around looking for panels, using the radar, except this time there are 4 blue ones on 4 pillars in the middle. When you get close to the panels, they will glow yellow on the radar and you need to find the white ones. Again, you do this by standing close to one of the panels to see if it turns white. If it does, it is the correct one. The incorrect ones will disappear. This time the pillars will show a blue number. That number in this case is 2. Once you find the correct pillar, bank the buff. Around the room are numerous other panels on the walls with various numbers which are all red. You need to find every single panel that has the number you found, so in this case it is 2, so the person with the operator buff shoots every single red number 2 that they see. There will always be 4 of that number to find amongst 16 red panels. Some of them are on walls, on the pillars and the ceiling. Once done, everyone banks the buff into the deposit areas if you haven't already. Remember that they have timers and you can bank them to refresh the timers if needed. You are then looking for red flashing lights on either the left or the right sides of a room. Near them will be holes where you need to drop down into that leads to a room. From there, you are looking for more flashing red lights that lead to more rooms. Follow them into the next room where you will have all 3 buffs to pick up from the 3 deposit areas within the area. The boss will be walking around, so try to avoid it. One person can pick up a suppressor to destroy any clones that enter the room. They don't have spawn limits this time, so you will have to keep killing them until the operator buff is done. So another person picks up the operator buff and shoots 4 red panels hidden around the room. For this room, they are on the middle pillar, the top right, the bottom left deposit area, and on the pillar to the left of the boss just above him. Make sure that you bank suppressor around this time, and also you are inside the room so you don't get locked out, because all the doors will close behind you. After shooting the 4 red panels, the boss will spawn 4 clones around the room, usually 2 on the bottom and 2 on the walkways. Bank the operator above and then use the scanner to go near the clones to find the correct one by using your radar again, just like before. The correct one will be the white one on your radar. Once the correct clone is found, call it out and kill it. This will spawn a bomb. The person without the buff will go to collect it, whilst the other 2 need to bank the buffs. Once done, all of you need to make your way into the bunker in the center of the room and bank the bomb before the sector purge countdown runs out. But make sure to bank the buffs before entering the bunker, otherwise you will lose it and you will need to reacquire it from the top rooms again. To access the top rooms, go through the top doors on the walkways. The buffs will usually spawn on the opposite rooms from where you lost them. When the bomb is banked, it will obliterate the room and take off 50% of the boss's immunity shields. So once done, go to where the boss was and there will be a door that leads to a tunnel. Within the tunnels you will be followed by radioactive puppeteers, and there will be trip mines and vandal mines throughout the area. You can either rush through and try to be nimble, or you can take it slow. Have one person distract the puppeteers whilst the other person clears the mines. You could also take a suppressor buff with you into the tunnels from the original rooms to kill the puppeteers. I do recommend destroying the vandal mines so you don't get slowed. The tunnel leads to the next room, which is almost identical to the previous room but has a gap in the middle pillar, allowing the boss to shoot you underneath it. One person purges the clones whilst the other picks up the operator buff from deposit areas and shoots another 4 red panels. This time they are top left, bottom left by the deposit area, bottom right by the second deposit area, and straight to your right in this little safe area. The scanner finds the correct clones and everyone kills it. This time you don't need to bank the buffs because you will need to reacquire them from the ads anyway. So pick up the bomb, bank it within the bunker once everyone is safely inside. Then take the door on the walkway that you entered through to the middle rooms where there will be a teleporter waiting for you. Go into it and it will teleport you back into the room where you started. Inside there will be an elevator, so take it up to the next floor where it is DPS time. The boss will be on the back platform with some clones around it. You need to stay on the move and target the boss as much as possible, but be careful of yellow lightning strikes that the boss will spawn on the ground. It is relentless and it means you have to be constantly on the move, but there are a few strategies. In terms of damage, weapons like Grand Overture and Edge Transit do well within the room. If you want, before you rally or before you take the elevator, you can charge up Grand Overture by shooting the red panels. You can also farm these rooms at the beginning before doing the boss rooms to create heavy ammo for later collection. In terms of supers, it is best to use Golden Gun with Celestial or Gathering Storm with Star Eaters. Titan Thunder Crash with Curus and Warlock Nova with Star Eaters is also great. Whilst doing damage, you have a few options. You can run around shooting the boss on the move, avoiding the electrical storms. Or you can use a well, but it will not protect you against the electrical storms unless you place it in specific locations. For the first one, you could place the well on the cover at the front right, but you need to make sure you stay on top on the left side of it so you don't get hit by the storms. It does work, but it can be difficult to find a sweet spot. The other option is to put the well on top of the bunker on the left side. There isn't much room to stand here, but once you find your footing, you won't get hit. Just make sure to be as high up on the bunker as possible. During the damage phase, if you kill one of the glowing clones, it will drop a nuke that you need to take into the bunker. Try to do this as early as possible to have the nuke ready on the ground. Some writing will also come up on the left side saying that the corrupt puppeteer communes with the anomaly. Once everyone is inside, bank the nuke to remove the boss's shields and go back outside to do damage for the boss for another 15 seconds or so. You can run around or go back onto the top of a bunker. To stay alive, I used healing rifts with boots of the assembler to keep the healing rifts on the ground for as long as possible. Once the boss gains a shield, you will need to quickly run back to the elevator and drop down to the room you started in. Then it is just rinse and repeat. After killing the boss, make sure to pick up your next quest step in the middle by the chest. And there you have it, that is how you complete the Vesper's host dungeon. If you have found the guide to be helpful, then please like, share and post a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on future Destiny 2 guides. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.